Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to discuss about the context API in reactjs. But before that, guys, it's the first video of 2023, and happy new year to all of you. And good news is that in our previous month we got 100 new subscribers, which is a good results. And also, I'm thankful to all the subscribers for subscribing and also watching my videos. And in the last video, we covered the topic use reducer hook. In that video, we are incrementing and decrementing with the help of the use reducers. And this previous videos, we are using the hooks concept, use ref, and also use effects and how use effects are dependencies and cleanup functions. Today is also a important topic, but before that, guys, I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm going in a quite detail so that you can understand the concept, and also I do the practical work and also explain the concepts so that you have no difficulty in understanding the React in quite detail. I see a lot of online tutorials. They are doing the practical works, and I'm not saying they are wrong, but my way of teaching is that I explain the things in detail and also do practical works. So guys, let's get started. So context API in React.js, it is actually a powerful and a flexible way of sending passing data between the components. Yes, we have already discussed this thing in the Reacts, but what actually context API do? It actually passes the data from parent to child, but also passes the data from parent to nth number of child. It's not necessary that we need to pass data to second child and then to the nested child. We can directly pass the data. So let's learn and understand how it happens. So I have created a presentation here. You can also get these presentations and the source code from this GitHub. All the things are available here in detail. So what is first I'm going to discuss about without context API. What is actually problem? If we need to, we have created this app.js, and in the app.js we are creating the parent component, and the parent component, if we need to pass the data to child grandchild component, we need to first pass data to the child class, then we need to pass props to the grandchild class, and then we are going to access that. Doesn't it really difficult to manage it? What actually this concept prop drilling is? If you're not familiar with the term, if you have worked with a React.js app, it has probably happened to you. Prop drilling is a process of getting data from component A to the component Z by passing it through multiple layers. This is an example of prop drilling. So, guys, how we can sort it out? React introduces context API, which actually solves this problem. So, context API is built-in API introduced in React in 16.3. It makes it possible to pass data from parent to child nested deep down the component tree directly. Great. So now that means we can directly pass data from parent component to child component 3. There's no any problem. Instead of passing it through a chain of props, we are directly passing data to child component. We are not going to use the old approach of passing data from to nested nth component with the props because it's really difficult to manage. So look at this example. Without context API and with context API. Without context API, if this is the parent, let's assume, and you need to pass it to final component, that's assume it's a nested component. So you need to pass to the child component props. You need to pass the property to child component, then you need to pass the prop to the second child component, then you need to pass to the third, and so on, and then you can reach it here. But with the context API, this problem gets resolved. We do not need to pass data to every component in the hierarchy. All you need to do, from the parent component, you can directly pass data to the final component without the help of this middle components, right? Because React introduces this concept to sort out these problems. And context API have three main things. First is create context, second is provider, and third thing is consumers. So I'm going to explain with the help of example in detail. Let's open the VS Code. So this is our previous video, increment, decrement, use reducers. Now I'm going to add a new folder here. I'm going to say it context API demo. And I'm going to say name it. Guys, for your information, I'm going to cover this example with the real-time code so you can understand it in detail, right? So now I'm going to say it, going to add a parent class. I'm going to name it return it. I am parent component, right? And I'm going to set class name because we have already did the CSS. In a previous video, I've explained this. And because I need to show in the middle, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this. Now I'm going to stop showing this one and I'm going to show this one. Parent context API. It looks good. I need to import this. Import, pass the class name and the component name and then the URL from where we are going to get this. It looks good, right? So now go and check out the UI. I'm a parent component, which is great. Now I'm going to add three more components, child component one, component two, and component three, so that we can create the hierarchy, which we have just discussed now, right? So just go in here and then I'm going to say it component one, component two, .js, and then child component two and child component three. It looks good. It's easy to understand, and I try to create the class names so that it looks really easy to you, so that it's not very difficult, right, guys? I'm going to copy this code. Great. And now I'm going to use here, I'm going to return. I'm going to say it child component, component 2, which is good. And for the 2, I'm going to say it, I'm going to return child component 3, which looks good. And now I'm going to use the parent, I'm going to say, so basically I'm creating the hierarchy. It looks good, right, guys? So now you can see here, there's some error. What was the error actually? I think the file name. So now if I go and refresh this, we didn't get anything. Why? Because on the app.js, we are calling the parents context API, and this parents context API is calling the component one, and in hierarchy, it's calling the component two, and in hierarchy, if we go in three, it's calling component three. But if we go in the three, we are not returning anything, so I'm going to say it, return something, guys. So I am Amir Parvez. Hello, I'm Aamir Parvez. So now if we go and see, great. Now we can see we have achieved this task till here. We are calling parent component and the nested components. We are calling this child component. Oh, looks good. We have created the hierarchy. So now we are going to see how we are going to pass data from the parent component directly to the third child component of the layer without using the props. So here comes the context API. Context API have three things: create context, which actually stores the values, and then we have providers, which actually passes the value, and then we have consumer, which actually shows the values or consumes the values from the provider. So for that, I'm going to use first for create context. I'm going to create const variable first name, and I'm going to say it create context. So once I click on create context, you can see here it actually React called this library. So now we can work on this. For the create context, what we need to do, we pass the create context and dot provider, what value we are providing to this n component, actually this component, right? So I'm going to say I'm going to pass some values to this component, and I'm going to say it like I'm going to say it developer. right? So till now we have created a create context which stores the value, and provider we are passing the value, but we have not used it till now. So all we need to do, we need to export it so that we can use in the any component wherever we need that. So like this, right, guys? We have discussed about the defaults and why applies in this way in the previous videos. You can watch out. So now I'm going to consume the value which we have just passed to this component. We all remember one thing, you need to pass the component where you need to actually use those values. So I'm going to use in the third component here, I'm going to import that. From where I'm going to import this? From the parent, right? So now we are going to consume the value. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to say first name dot consumer. So remember one thing, consumer always accepts the functions, and in this way we are going to use the callback function here in this example. So I'm going to say fname, and then I need to return this thing, right, guys? There are some problems, we need to figure it out. Okay, React fragmentation. We have already discussed about that thing in detail, so don't worry about, guys. And it looks good. It looks good. It looks good here till now. And then I'm going to say return something. It looks good. Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. What was the problem here? We use the consumer and we are passing it here. That's okay. We are opening this parenthesis. That's okay. That's okay. That looks good. I'm going to use here I am. That looks good here. Consumer, we are opening this text and then we are passing this, and then we are opening this text and return. We can write it this way. Mhm. Yeah, actually, we are not closing this one. It looks good now. So now let's get and check it out. It seems like there's issue. Okay, yes. I am developer. Great, guys. So guys, see here in this video, we achieved that we are passing the data from parent to the child component directly, not by the props. So this is how helpful this context API is. If we need to pass multiple values, we can do that as well as. So all we need to do is, and we need to remember the component, right? And I'm going to say it reactjs. And here I'm going to say reactjs developer. Great. And now I'm going to call this one the same way. I'm going to use it consumer, and I'm going to pass in consumer. I'm going to pass the function. There's some issue. Okay, I need to check it out. Yes, I'm not passing first name also. I'm not using it. Okay, if I go and check it out now. So let me figure out the problem. Actually, these problems makes you good React.js developers. So first check first name consumer, it looks good, and then this one it returns. Yes, we removed the return from here. Return, and then it looks good, it looks good, that's good, that's okay. Consumer, we need to remove this one. Guys, see how complex it is sometimes to handle. Hi, I'm a React.js developer. So now we have achieved, we added one create context, then we added two create contexts. It's little bit, you can say complex, and let code little bit look more hierarchical. If we add three, if we add four, it looks like this way, like arrow shape, right? So, but you know one thing, we have achieved one thing from we can pass data from parent to and child component, but this is a little bit complex approach. But React introduces a new thing which was use context, and I hope once you use the use context, it is going to be a little bit easy than this. And that concept also help you in achieving the passing data from end component from parent component. But I hope you like this video and you understand the concept. These little errors actually makes you good programmers, good understanding the concepts of React, that what mistakes or what tiny mistakes we are doing here, so that we can learn from these mistakes and we can do as much as code practice as we can. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel and also comment and reach out to me through email. In this description I'll provide all the details so you can reach out to me. And I hope you like the video and you understand this pictorial images as well as how this all things are working. I'm sharing this all things on the GitHub presentations as well as and all the source code as well. So thank you very much, guys. Have a good day. I hope you are enjoying and like the video. In the next video, get ready for the next video that was going to be interesting one with the use context.